It is not yet uhuru for Nigeria's 774 local government areas. Though state governors hailed the Supreme Court's July 11th historic ruling that freed the local governments from the financial control of state governors by conferring financial autonomy on them, which means that direct federal allocation is going to them. The press has learned that the state's chief executive are not yet ready to give up their grips on the funds of their various states council areas. There are indications that the governors now clandestinely devise various mechanisms to ensure continued access to the allocations accruing to the councils. For example, press has been informed that in a number of states in the southern part of the country where local government elections have been scheduled to hold, the governors have anointed persons who they believe can easily allow them a free rein on the allocations as the next chairman of such councils. I'll stop there. Mr. Potibe, sir. Yeah, we are seeing, the Supreme Court making a chess play, and there is also a move set aside by the governors, and even a counter move set aside by the federal government. Are we trying to say that the local government should not be free? Is there any plans of stunting the autonomy given to the local government areas? And is there anything that could be done to deliver them from such bondage that they are about to enter into, sir?
It beats me hollow when I hear those who are considered even political juggernauts say that by the ruling of the Supreme Court, the local government areas or local government authorities have become autonomous. It beats me hollow. In the first instance, the government at the center is not doing federation with local government. The government at the federating unit in Nigeria are the 36 states, not the 774 local governments. It is idiotic, most idiotic, to think that that judgment alone confers autonomy on local government.
Why doesn't it?
When the constitution is clear,
okay,
you have not gone to the constitution to address the issues in the constitution. The constitution has spoken to how money should be paid. That was not repealed. That you were going to have a jack. Monies was going to be paid into it. And the state authority that is resident in the governor would administer that. That's the first instance. The constitution did not also, by its judgment, state how you are going to conduct elections into those local governments. In any case, even if they did, the protocols that will allow people emerge from the political parties, have they addressed those protocols? It is from the ward levels that certain people will sit. And when they are going to have the direct primaries or indirect primaries, the governor will still have influences and determine who becomes. Because you know that the governor will have influences, you understand that the governor in some ways is going to be the one who will determine whether you emerge from that process or not. Even when you become, even when the federal government brings your money into your bedroom, we have seen local government chairmen who will take those monies and say, go and give it to the governor and say, Mr. Governor, how am I going to administer these monies? You see, we try to play the ostrich in our country. We want to fix certain things and we spoil it the more. Because if you looked inward, you found that indeed, in order for us to ensure autonomy, certain things needed to be done to adjust the constitution, to adjust how people emerge. If you did not adjust that, I even said on my Facebook post that I am seeing a time when the Supreme Court will reverse itself like they did with Amichi's judgment. They will sit down and say, because we have not even done what the askings of the constitution says regarding how we can give autonomy to these people, and we have said this, we have created a quagmire. We have created some cobwebs, some political cobwebs for people not to be able to navigate through. What is going to happen in the coming months will shock even the Supreme Court and shock the president. What they intended to do, let me tell you before we even go on with this conversation. Nigeria is heading towards a one-party state. Where one man sits down and is able to control the entirety of Nigeria. In that, they are trying to introduce now an agency that will be responsible for conducting local government election. That agency will be peopled by those who are in INEC. Go to Edo State now. I throw this challenge to all of you listening to me. Go and inspect, investigate those people who are in the board, the INEC board, that are going to be a part of those who will conduct the election. Go and investigate all their names. I leave that to you Nigerians. As I sit here, I have my own intel and my own information. It will shock you that there are PDP members that are there. It will shock you that there are APC members that are there. I have my own intels, and because I'm on air, I will not call the names of some of them that I'm aware are there. These people, we see people, this institution you want to create in states, and they will only try to go and do what the president has instructed them to do. So that what then happens is you find a president who has authority across states and across local governments, because he has used his machinery, he has used his institution, he has used the state hegemony, quote and unquote, to ensure that people became whatever from local government to state. What they are doing is to water down the powers of the state governors, so that even if they brought those people, they ensured that their people that they selected did not emerge, because the person who is going to head the SIEC, so if you assume that it was SIEC, is no longer going to be answerable to them. They are not going to be the ones who will nominate who becomes the chairman of SIEC, but the same federal government is still nominating who becomes the head of INEC. Are you not seeing the contradictions? So I am not moved to think that there is any autonomy going to local government. All of this abracadabra, political abracadabra, is what, by my reckoning, is targeted at moving Nigeria to a one-party state by 2027.
Mr. Vincent, do you think the governors are scared of their positions because of the rise of the profile of the local government chairman concerning this local government autonomy? And everything goes, everything is fair in they trying to reinstate their relevance in the political sphere of Nigeria?
Okay, I would like to start from that word, uhuru, that I saw in the opening statement. Then if it is uhuru, you know, you say it's not yet uhuru.
Yeah.
So if it is yet uhuru, then what happens? That's exactly what our comrade and the Akotive is trying to analyze to us. That, you know, it's not by all this jamboree that they are feeding us with. You know, you just go to the bakery, you bring out and half-baked bread and serve to the people. You know, if you want to do something, you do it so that if we are applauding you, we applaud you very well. Now, you are talking about local government autonomy. What is the system, what is the structure in place to ensure that that local government autonomy we are talking about, you know, come to light? Then if we are talking about whatever as it were is being done or said about governance, it's about the people. So whatever they have done now, in the name of local government autonomy, how does that benefit the people? How does that, you know, reinforce the aspiration of the people? We have the people at the grassroots who want to feel the impact of the government. I have been in a community for the past 15 years in River State here. If you look at my trousers very well, you will see dots. It's dotted all over with sand and what have you. You know, I cannot comfortably dress and come out from my house. In fact, today as I was coming out, I wanted to put a different shirt, a colored shirt on top of what I'm putting on right now, because of the nature of the road. Then those who I would say are shallow-minded as far as the reality of our country is concerned, wants to say that in quotes is uhuru now. That it is time for local government to move forward across the country.
Are local governments mature enough to stay on their own?
It's about the people. That is, whatever, government at whatever level, as far as Vincent is concerned, it's about the people. then if the people, in conjunction with the government, have not come together to create the structure that will enable them to exhibit that maturity you are talking about, then we are going nowhere.
Okay.
So today as it is, if you ask me, there is nothing like local government autonomy. That thing is something that the Supreme Court just put on the pages of newspaper for the people of Nigeria to read and get excited, nothing more.
Okay.
And they has just analyzed to us, you know, what is happening or what is going to happen and what has been happening as far as the relationship between the governors and the so-called local government chairman is concerned, how they emerge, how they disburse money, how they use the money, how they have to take permission from their superior, and what have you. The local government chairman, as it were, you know, you have a period of 8 years. After them, what next? These are career politicians who, as they become, as soon as they are stepping into an office today, they are thinking of the next one. So, if you are not loyal, you are not going to be an House of Representative member tomorrow. You will not be a senator. You will not. For instance, there are some local government chairman in the landscape of River State. If you see their body language, they want to overthrow the governor. So if they were not loyal to somebody that kept them there, how would they have the shoulder to stand side by side with the governor of the state, you know, and make certain noise?
Okay.
Then the same thing applies to the president, because we know, I have said it on this show, that we have governors in this country, that some of them are even more powerful than the president. I was having a chat in a forum yesterday, and somebody was saying that a governor in this country delivered 14 states for Tinubu as it were today. Can you imagine that? Now, you don't tell me that the president does not have the feeling, you know, of the influence of these governors. So what is the arrangement? You have to make a plan B. If I allow these people 2027, it may not be easy for me. And then, you know, local government autonomy, uhuru. Please, may they allow us breathe.
Sandy.
Yes, please.
Your closing remarks concerning this topic, sir.
Yes.
The way forward.
Yes. We as Nigerians, we must be ready to take the bull by the horn, as it were. All these tokenistic approaches to fixing the challenges of our country will not do any good to us. And you have these tokenistic approaches because the people are not aware. The people are not ready to challenge the system.
Are the people that are they that impotent?
Yes, the people have been impoverished. They have been rendered, you know, like toothless bulldogs by leadership, for the intent that leadership understood that because the people are hungry now, if we feed them and ensure that we give them a way to continuously feed themselves, they will not need us eventually. So let's feed them and not give them the protocol on how to feed themselves, so that when we are coming back to them again, they will have need for us. Now, these people also, where I fault them is that they are unable to even engage to say, okay, you have fed us now. We need a protocol on how we can stay fed consistently. They are not engaging. They are looking for the one-offs. So that's why government keeps giving us tokenistic solutions, either through the Supreme Court, through the House of Assembly, or even through ministries, departments, and agencies, until such a time when you and I, Nigerians, we come together and begin to give the pressure that is necessary to these people in authority. Because in the first instance, leadership is responsibility. Leadership is like you separating yourself and saying that you want to become a priest. There are certain askings that you must conform with and conform to as a priest. If you did not believe that you could submit to those askings, you didn't become a priest. You shouldn't become a priest. Today in our society, there are people who want to become leaders that do not even understand the concept of leadership. Leadership as servanthood. Leadership as servitude. Leadership as using yourself to clear the path for other people to see the light. Leadership as being the forerunner for people. They don't see that. So they emerge and all they see is self. All they do is self. Until the people get challenged enough to trouble these kinds of leadership out of there, ensuring that only those who understand that leadership is a core become. All of these tokenistic things, we will keep dancing in them, and Nigeria is not about to change.
Whoa. We hope that the leaders are listening. We hope that the stakeholders of our political sphere are listening, because our guests today have propounded and postulated on what they believe could be a game changer in our political practices in our dear country, Nigeria.